Do you guys see some of the news in regards to Giannis this morning? And I'm not surprised by this at all. And frankly, I think at this stage, I'm just expecting that Giannis Antetokounmpo will eventually leave the Milwaukee Bucks. Whether that's in a year, 2 years, maybe 3 years at most, something like that. I'm just expecting at some point Giannis is going to leave the Milwaukee Bucks. Where he goes, I don't know. Who he wants to play for, I have no idea. Does he want to be in a big market? Not sure at all. Does he are there certain players in the league he'd like to team up with? We'll have to wait and see. Let me read something here from Shams, and I think this will kind of spark another conversation in its own. Sources tell me there's still nothing set in stone about whether Giannis Antetokounmpo will stay in Milwaukee or whether he will be leaving. And so he's continuing to evaluate his future. I reported it in mid-May that he's evaluating whether his best fit is in Milwaukee or it's somewhere else. And that process is continuing. There's been some very real conversations over the last week or so. So this is, obviously in the last week or so. So we're not talking about a month ago, 2 months ago, or anything like that. The constant question that Giannis has is, can I win a championship with this roster? Is this roster going to be one for this upcoming year, 2026, 2027? He wants to win a second championship. So he's asking that question over and over. There are multiple teams waiting in the wings potentially if Giannis this offseason still makes that decision. So, or probably even when the season starts. Listen, Shams is not putting this out for nothing. There has to be some kind of conversations that are going on, obviously, in the background that he's privy to, or he has some type of information. There's a reason why some of this stuff, I think, comes out. And I think his biggest question that he has there, the Giannis question is, can I win a championship with this roster? He wants to win his second championship. I think I can answer that question for you. I don't think they could win a second championship. I don't think he can win another championship in Milwaukee. I thought the move when they went out and got Miles Turner, I'm not telling you getting Miles Turner was a bad thing, but I think stretching Damian Lillard and having dead money on your books, I think it's like $20 million a year over the next 5 years. That's desperation. That's what that is. It's nothing more. I mean, if you're trying to show to Giannis, hey, I'll do anything. Whatever it is that you need, trust me, we'll do anything. I think what's being lost in that translation is it comes off as desperate. It doesn't come off, in my opinion, as we know what we're doing. We're pulling the rope in the same direction. Trust us. I think it comes off as very desperate. I don't think that's a good move. I don't think it's smart for them to stretch Damian Lillard for 5 years or whatever the case is. But they said to themselves, if this is the risk, if this is what we have to do in order to maybe Hail Mary keeping Giannis, or this is going to get us Miles Turner, so now we can at least make some kind of case to Giannis Antetokounmpo that they're going to be okay. That's what they obviously have to do, and that's what they're in the process of doing. I just don't think it's going to work. And I don't think that the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo are any closer to winning an NBA championship. I think those days are over. And I think Giannis probably deep down inside knows that, but he's just trying to make a decision. Hey, I played with this franchise. I won them a championship. I love Milwaukee. I want to win another one here. I just don't think it's realistic. So this to me is fascinating, kind of watching, what happens moving forward. And I think this goes to Victor's comment here. Pelinka going to be on the clock next summer. Let's see what he does when the Lakers have cap space this summer of 2026. Listen, I think I kind of know what the Lakers' game plan is. And there's a little bit of praying and hoping here, but the Lakers are hoping and praying that Giannis Antetokounmpo one day says that he wants to leave the Milwaukee Bucks. And I think the Lakers are also hoping and praying that one day Giannis Antetokounmpo says, I want to go play in Los Angeles. And I hope they're also saying that they're also saying is, I want to go play with Luka Doncic. Because that's probably the only way that Giannis Antetokounmpo becomes a Los Angeles Laker, that Luka gets a real, true superstar to play with, and the idea of potentially winning championships It's got to be that type of methodology. And if people want to say, well, that can happen with Jokic, all right, I kind of think Jokic has a stronger chance of staying in Denver than Giannis has in staying in Milwaukee. That's my own personal opinion. I do think they know what they're doing in Denver. I do think that's a smart front office. I do think that they have a team that can compete for an NBA championship this year, and that's very, very realistic. But the Giannis piece is going to be fascinating. And when I saw, there was never a time this offseason that I'm like, oh, Giannis is good, nothing's going to happen there. And when I saw this morning, yeah, that was kind of like not surprised at all, not shocked at all. And, I think this kind of will continue to add a little bit to the story of what happens moving forward with Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks. There was one other piece I'm going to read here real quick. Shams. This is a very tough decision for him, though. This is 12 years he spent there. There's a lot of equity there. He won a championship there. This type of move isn't going to be easy because this is a Milwaukee Bucks organization. They went out and they stretched and waived Damian Lillard's $103 million. They did that because they wanted to show Giannis, we're doing everything in our power to keep you here. But Giannis Antetokounmpo is the ultimate decider whether he feels this roster is good enough. I said this before, I'm going to say it again. Whole league is keeping an eye on Giannis, and I guarantee you the Los Angeles Lakers and Rob Pelinka and new ownership group and Jeannie Buss, I guarantee you they wake up every single morning and say, what if? What if Giannis wants out? What if he wants out? And Giannis has had interesting quotes before about the big markets. He's had some interesting quotes when Luka got traded, and he's like, I hope all the European players end up in the big markets. He's had some interesting quotes. He's got an unbelievable history and accomplishments in Milwaukee. So if he ends up leaving, no one in Milwaukee should be mad at him. Is this just going to be the next phase of his career? I have no idea, but I will tell you that it's going to be fascinating to watch over the next, not just 30 days. It's going to be fascinating to watch over the next probably 10, 11 months, because even if he's with the Milwaukee Bucks all of this upcoming year, if they don't win a championship, the noise is only going to get louder. What is he going to do? What's the decision he's going to make? What is Milwaukee going to do? It's almost like a relationship that you feel like it's reached its end, and one of the boyfriend or the girlfriend, whatever the case is, and they're just like, I'll do anything. And decisions they start making are more out of desperation rather than this is the right thing to do. So let me take a look at some of the comments. That was doing the Giannis piece was a little bit longer than I thought, but I do think that there's something real there. I genuinely believe there is something real there. I really believe that. HH, thank you again, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for the super. Anybody that's sent in a super, I greatly appreciate that as well. Slee, rank Rob as a GM above replacement. I say 0.8. Listen, if tomorrow you told me that the Lakers went out of their way and they went and signed Bob Myers, I would understand it. If they went out and signed Masai Ujiri, I would get it. If they went out and went all in for Sam Presti, you don't have to make an explanation. I get it. I just think he's going to get a couple more years. And I think he is attached to that Luka trade, and he's going to get a chance to plan out what his vision is based on that Luka trade. Let's see what we got here. Who has more international connections than the Lakers for Giannis to take advantage of? Harold, listen, let me tell you something. If you're making a case of where Giannis can go and get a chance to win an NBA championship and truly, truly like take complete advantage of his stardom, there's only two spots. New York and LA. Those are the two. I mean, I'm talking about taking complete. Maybe I can make a case, the Golden State Warriors, because they are in the Bay. They're San Francisco. That front office has been good in the way they've ran their organization. They got tech. They got all that other stuff. But, and even if you're ranking all three of those, the most powerful brand in the NBA is the Lakers, period, point blank. It's not to say that the Knicks don't have a powerful brand. They do. That ain't the Lakers. It's just not. It's not. All right, let me take a look here. And that's, obviously it's going to come down to it's his decision. What does he want to do And that's probably the only way the Lakers would obviously have a real legitimate shot. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see what else we got here from everybody. But just, I don't need to sit here and tell everybody. It's just going to be a fascinating scenario. Thomas, well, Giannis has to say he wants Lakers because I agree with you. I don't disagree with you on that. I don't disagree. It literally will have to be, listen, anybody can trade for me, but I'm going to be a Los Angeles Laker when I'm a free agent and I'm not signing an extension. That's the only way it's going to happen. That's the only way that it would happen.